Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the Porsche Macan T. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Porsche Salt Lake City for giving me some time with this Macan T. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Matt Hendry. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 261 horsepower and then 295 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see how there's those really distinctive lines there. Kind of gives it a little bit of a boxier design actually. And then we've got these signature Porsche style headlights, which I really like, and how it's raised behind the light. And then you guys can see the turn signal indicator down below, also really sharp looking. And overall, really cool look. Our tire wheel setup is 265 by 45 by 20 in the front, and then 295 by 40 by 20 in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the metallic gray for the coloration, blacked out brake caliper as well. And then look at the cut here with the fender, and then you can see very, very lightly Macan T right there. You also have the metallic gray on the mirror cap as well. And if we take a few steps back, there's your side profile. And then this leads us to the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the hatch, and of course it's shaped like a car. It's a pretty cool key, but pop that open. And storage space in the Macan is actually really solid. Again, this is not a massive crossover. This is Porsche's smaller entry-level crossover, but it's still pretty darn practical. You guys can see the cargo cover built in from the factory as well. So yeah, overall good storage space. When you're all done, you've got this set of buttons up here. One of them, that one right there, locks it, and then the other one just closes the hatch. So you just press that and that'll close everything up. Now I've got this really cool light bar design here on the back of the Macan T. And look at all the exhaust tips here. Pretty aggressive looking there at the very bottom. And just kind of a look at the taillights. But yeah, that's the rest of the rear. And then popping inside, really nice actuation on the door handle. You're going to have soft touch trim here at the top and the rest of the panel down to the armrest. And then this is cool with the door handle. Everything has a very tight actuation to it. It's a Porsche thing to do. Got the crest there on the top of the seat. Nice leather trim all over. Quickly pop in. Now something to note, that seat's a little bit more accurate in terms of the spacing because the driver's seat's back for the memory. But I mean, even with the seat back, I can still fit back here. It is tighter. Anyways, got a little storage pocket. Camera can't really see it down there. You got some vents here in the center as well. And then it does kind of slope here in the back, but headroom's actually pretty good despite that. And this of course leads us up front. Same thing with the trim there all over. Really nice stuff. And then even the window controls have a very tight feeling to them. Got your mirror adjustments, mirrors do power fold in, memory seat functionality. Just a quick look at the mirrors to do a blind spot monitoring. And then here's the front seat. It's kind of like laid back too, it's funny. They have really nice trim all over. All of your adjustments on the side, there's a lot of them. And then this has the cool setup with the lights and then the key there. You have an actual key fob that I showed you, but this is to turn the car on. And then really nice trim here on the dash. It's all soft touch all across. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see nice trim all around. We got paddle shifters there on the back for the dual clutch. We've got a bunch of practical controls in the front, including for like your phone controls, voice command controls. You get your drive mode select on the steering wheel, which I think is a really cool kind of look. And then we have a bunch of stalks here on the back. It's kind of a Porsche thing. Now this is one thing I really like about the Macan, is the fact that we've got this mostly analog gauge cluster setup. Sorry, the camera's kind of going in and out because of the lighting. But yeah, it looks cool. You do have a screen there on the side which you can see different bits of information. But yeah, overall I like the setup. Backup camera in reverse, and you can see all throughout the vehicle with this 360 camera system, really good resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's really quick to respond, as you can see. So great modern system. And then you do have some physical controls here at the bottom. I like this, that looks really sharp. Love the handle for the glove box too. Again, everything feels high quality in here. including the shifter. Feels like you're doing something significant. But physical buttons for the climate controls. Also for the seats, we have heated and ventilated seats. And then you've got some random kind of controls here. At least it seems random because it goes like climate and then it's like off-road. But you got stuff like your lane centering, auto stop, start, suspension, all of that. And that's cool right there. And then you can see storage in this area. Got some USB ports and everything. Nice trim. Again, everything's very tight, the fit and finish. Rear view mirror, and then we do have a big panoramic center. And I do want to mention the headliner's kind of like softer. So here's a quick look at our window sticker with this Macan T. There aren't really any major changes for 25 with the gas-powered Macan. The electric has a lot. We'll review one of those in the future. But anyways, $76,890 is the total MSRP on this one. Let's see how it drives. Quickly talk about visibility. Just over the hood, both the mirrors, and the rest of the rear. And let us set off here in the Macan T. This is kind of potentially a sweet spot for the Macan in certain ways. Don't get me wrong, the V6 version is really cool, but this kind of having some sporty stuff added to it, but then also being on the more affordable range for the Macan, I think it's pretty cool if you ask me. But something to note, even though this is, you know, the entry-level Porsche, it still feels so high quality, and that's something that you just won't ever be able to get in video. You have to just go and sit in a Porsche, drive one, and then you understand. Like, everything is just so much tighter and so much more well built than what you see with pretty much every other manufacturer. It's really quite impressive what Porsche does. And I literally mean it's everything. Like the steering wheel, just the trim, how this feels on the steering wheel. And you compare this to just any other manufacturer. And so I think that's something that Porsche spends a lot of time with, is the tactile feel. Right? How does stuff feel to interact with? Even the seat control there, right? It kind of has more of a high quality feel to it. And then like the drive mode select, I feel like I'm doing something substantial, and it's got like a nice click to it. Everything has a nice tactile click. And you know, that is obviously part of what you're paying for with a Porsche. And then the next thing is the drive. Very comfortable suspension with this car, like great daily driver. You do get a little bit of road noise, but it's pretty minimal. More than competitive within the segment. Yeah, pop into Sport Plus mode, instantly gets aggressive, and the transmission's another thing. Super quick, super smooth. It's very, very well balanced with how they've set it up. So good. Again, you hear the power figures and you're thinking, this is not that much. But the transmission response makes this feel more powerful. And then, you know, Porsche just always seems to underrate everything. Their cars always feel quicker than the power figures suggest. I feel like you got to tack on at least 40 plus horsepower onto every single Porsche in terms of what it says versus what it actually feels like. Oh yeah. Just, do you see how quick that is though? Like, look at this, the paddles, instant. It's just amazing response. Absolutely love it. So overall, the Macan T, is it the sweet spot? I mean, I don't know. What I will say is it drives really well. Transmission's great. It's got more than enough power. It's fun to drive too. That's another thing to note. This is actually a fun car to drive around. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the, and this is impressive. This is the entry level to Porsche, really. This is pretty much their most affordable car, and their most affordable car has a very nice, very well put together interior. I mean, just, again, literally just sit in it and then just kind of play with all of the items, touch everything, right? The actuation with all of the stuff, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And so it's a really impressive entry level for a brand. So let me know what you guys think about the Macan, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to get a review with the EV soon, so you guys can see what that's all about.